Make sure you got your microphones on, please. Good evening. The hour being 6:30 p.m. on Monday, March 14th, 2022. I'd like to call to order the Brookfield Village Board meeting. Would everyone please join me in a pledge of allegiance to the flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Bridget, we have a roll call, please.
Trustee Ketchmark?
Here.
Trustee Cote?
Here.
Trustee Hendricks? Here. Trustee Conroy?
Here.
Trustee LeClere?
Here.
Trustee Kaluzny?
Here.
And President Garvey.
Here. If we could also note that Officer Sire is in the room. Thank you. We have a swearing in tonight of our new police officer. I'd ask Officer George Martinez and his family to please come forward up by our village clerk so he can be sworn in. Give your cameras to anybody over here.
Raise your right hand. I, George Martinez,
I, George Martinez,
having been appointed to the office of police officer
having been appointed to the office of police officer
in the village of Brookfield,
in the village of Brookfield,
in the county of Cook,
in the county of Cook,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of
the office of police officer
the office of police officer
according to the best of my abilities.
according to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations. There you go. Perfect, thank you.
Congratulations, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Would you like to introduce your family? Sure.
My wife is Sui, my mother Monica, my baby Gracie, and my brother Jonathan.
Congratulations. I know Chief Kerville wants to say a few words. Why don't you could stay here while Chief says a few things?
Thank you.
You could stay here.
I promise I'll keep this brief. Good evening, President Garvey, the Board of Trustees, and the Brookfield community. As we've already stated here, I'd just like to introduce one of our newest members, Officer Jorge Martinez, although he prefers to be called George. I'm sorry if I know I messed your name up many times in the beginning. George recently made his 1-year probation, and we couldn't be prouder to have him as a member of this department. George served our country through active duty in the United States Army for 4 years. He was stationed in Hawaii and also lived there for 5 years as well. Former Chief Petrick and I realized quickly how much we wanted to hire and retain George, as his warm and personable character showed itself during our very first meeting with him. Therefore, we made a special request to Tim, and he granted us the ability to hire George early than the start of his police academy. George has been so agreeable that he agreed to work within the function of community service officer for the first 6 weeks before the police academy. He learned our town, and he served in that role through all the community events, traffic control, again, anything we asked of him. And he did that with a smile. And I got to tell you, in the short time that I've known George, I'm sure his family can attest, his good attitude and outlook, it's refreshing. And we really, really appreciate that. Especially, it's amazing, and I know probably a lot of this has to credit to his wife, Isui. He's a new dad, and with a newborn 6-month-old Grace, I imagine I remember sleepless nights myself. So, George, I wish you the very best in your career here as a Brookfield police officer, and I'm excited to see where your career takes you. Congratulations, Officer Martinez.
Thank you, and thank you to your fellow officers for coming in tonight to the. And as always, you're welcome to stay for the rest of the board meeting, but our gift to all new people being sworn is you don't have to stick around. If you have any other place you might want to be tonight, you're free to. Thank you very much, and congratulations. So. Okay, we'll move on to public comment at this point. Is there anyone on my right side? Bob not raising his hand, so anybody on my left side? Okay, hearing no public comment, I'll move on to reports of special committees, please. Trustee Cote?
I would like to make a motion to approve corporate warrant dated March 14th, 2022 in the amount of $907,052.02.
Is there a second?
Second.
The motion was made by Trustee Cote, second by Trustee Hendricks. Any highlights or anything you want to point out, Trustee Cote?
Yes, there was a $255,000 purchase on water meters that was approved as part of the budget, and we expect to have a further discussion in a future meeting, March 28th, I believe, for reimbursement from bond.
Any questions or comments related to the warrant? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Ketchmark?
Aye.
Trustee Cote?
Aye.
Trustee Hendricks?
Aye.
Trustee Conroy?
Aye.
Trustee LeClere?
Aye.
Trustee Kaluzny?
Aye.
Motion passes.
In regards to DPW, streets departments continue street sign replacement and street patching. The forestry department continues the tree removal program, and they began to replace the banners on Ogden Avenue. And they are currently prepping our parks for spring openings. In regards to the library has a kids that are in kindergarten through 5th grade can sign up for a spring reading challenge to win various prizes. And this Thursday, there will be a Luck of the Irish bingo held at the library. Please visit the library's website for further details and other events. If you know a veteran in need or is having issues transitioning home from overseas or being deployed, the VA can help. The VA has a national coaching into care program where they have licensed psychologists and social workers that will be more than willing to talk with them over the phone, and you can find your way around and help you find your way around the VA system. To speak with a VA coach, please call 1-888-823-7458. Or you can stop by the VFW anytime Tuesday through Sunday after 4 p.m. Reach out to me or call the VFW at 708-485-9670. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee Cote. Trustee Conroy, Chamber of Commerce.
Chamber of Commerce continues to work and plan for the farmers markets. They recently brought on Gina Schernow in the role of assistant manager. So I would like to welcome her and thank her for stepping up to fill that void. As Maria O'Toole is the permanent manager, Gina Schernow will be directly underneath her, but has already proved a good asset and hardworking and bringing a lot of energy to that position. So I'd like to welcome and thank her for her contributions there. And then other than that, this week's business luncheon has been moved. It was going to be on the 17th. It will now be next Thursday on the 24th. That will be at 12 o'clock at Broadway Pancake House. This Thursday, if nobody has plans for St. Patrick's Dinner, there will be an event held at Beach Avenue Barbecue for Corkle, which stands for Chamber, Optimist, Rotary, Kiwanis, and Lions. It's just kind of a group event where they kind of bring all their members together to have a corned beef, either dine-in or takeout menu. It's available $25 in advance or $30 at the door. And again, it will be on St. Patrick's Day, 12 o'clock at Beach Avenue Barbecue. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee Conroy. Trustee Hendricks, Planning and Zoning.
No report.
Thank you. Trustee Ketchmark, anything under administration?
No report.
Trustee LeClere, Parks and Recreation.
Just a couple things. We have a open house ribbon cutting for Candy Cane Park on March 26th at 12 noon. And then our next meeting will be actually tomorrow, 6:30, right here in the courtroom. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Trustee LeClere. Trustee Kaluzny, Conservation and Beautification.
Yep, the Conservation Commission held a work day in the Oak Savannah on March 5th to continue removing green ash saplings in preparation for the prescribed burn that's coming up. And we had a special volunteer appearance by Mary Cote, which was very exciting. She did a really good job. Just want to let you know. Commissioners are also working on prescribed burn talking points to share with staff and should have that sent over this week for the website and social media for when the burn happens. So if George is listening in the back and Logan, those talking points are coming your way. And then the Commission's Earth Day events have been published in partnership with the library, and sign up is now available for those education programs and the alternative car show on the library website. They held a special meeting on March 9th and began outlining components of the Sustainability and Climate Plan, and they'll continue to hold a couple of special meetings on this topic to make progress on the plan, but not make their regular commission meetings hours long. Their next meeting will be Tuesday, March 22nd at 6:30 p.m. In Village Hall. The Beautification Commission had a meeting on March 8th. They finalized plans for Adopt a Spot and Project Nice. Adopt a Spot sign-up is available by Sign Up Genius, and also they'll have a sign-up event here on March 19th where people can come in and stop in and talk with some of the commissioners about what that means and sign up for their spot then as well. And the commission's also making plans for their spring planters on Grand Boulevard and presenting Brookie Awards to 3 businesses for their beautification efforts before the end of March. I'll report on that at the next meeting. Their next meeting will be April 12th at 6 p.m. That ends my report.
Thank you, Trustee Kaluzny. For my reports, and just in terms of economic development, working with staff and Emily to, we're going to kind of vet through the rest of or move the economic development recommendations that we saw at the Committee of the Whole, I believe at the last meeting, in terms of putting that on a future agenda to kind of work through some of the recommendations and board discussion on that. Also on March 3rd, we conducted the required annual joint review board meetings for all the TIF districts here at the Village Hall in the afternoon. We had a few representatives of some of the taxing bodies. It's an annual requirement where we update them on the status and past activities from each of the TIF districts. So nothing additional from the Brookfield Zoo at this point, or the Solid Waste Agency, or WCMC. Maybe I think Tim might want to say something about that, maybe during his report about news from the WCMC. Washington, the money from Washington Avenue. Are you gonna?
Oh, sure, Mr.
I thought I would leave that good news for you to publicly announce. So, and then that ends my reports. So at this point, I'd entertain a motion to pass the omnibus agenda.
So moved. Second.
The motion was made by Trustee Kaluzny, second by Trustee Hendricks. Roll call, please.
Trustee Ketchmark?
Aye.
Trustee Cote?
Aye.
Trustee Hendricks? Aye. Trustee Conroy?
Aye.
Trustee LeClere?
Aye.
Trustee Kaluzny?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. We just have one item under regular business. I'd entertain a motion to pass a legal and financial services agreement resolution related to the issuance of $2.5 million general obligation bonds for the financing of the meter transmission unit replacement project.
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Trustee Cote, second by Trustee Kaluzny. Tim, do you want to just summarize what we're doing? Or Doug?
I'll let Doug.
Okay. The board has that memo. I just want to basically explain a little bit for the public and the audience.
Hi, good evening, Board. The bond issue for $2.5 million will be used to fund the MTU project that we had discussed during the budget process, and you approved the actual agreement back, I believe, in the summertime. The estimated cost at this point is $2.5 million, which is what we're going to be issuing bonds for. To get to the point of issuance of the bonds, we need to start with getting bond counsel, which is Chapman, our regular attorneys, Storino, Romello, and Durkin, and our financial advisor, which is Kane McKenna. The contracts that are in front of you tonight are to allow those service agreements for these 3 consultants, which will help shepherd the bond issue through the process. So we're looking at getting hopefully our $2.5 million or thereabouts by the end of April, early May. Are there any questions?
Just one maybe for Carl. When does the project start in terms of the installation of those?
I gave him an update. I'm not sure if he's going to put his name. Okay. I'll be reporting on that.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Trustee Ketchmark.
Okay, any other questions for Doug? Thank you, Doug.
You're welcome, thank you.
Any other questions or comments related to the resolution? Okay, we have a motion and a second. Can we have a roll call, please?
Trustee Ketchmark?
Aye.
Trustee Cote?
Aye.
Trustee Hendricks?
Aye.
Trustee Conroy?
Aye.
Trustee LeClere?
Aye.
Trustee Kaluzny?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, thank you. Tim, anything from manager's report?
I have an update on the MTU replacement project that you just approved. An important first step, and that is to get our legal and financial team in order to make a very large and important bond issue happen, so staff appreciates that. Now with that done, the MTU replacement project will begin next month. And as a note to our residents, every home and every business will have its meter, they have to be accessed so that we can access the MTUs. The large meters, those are 57.5 inches or larger, the meters themselves will be replaced. On all of most homes, we're just replacing the MTUs, which will require access by the contractor to the home. All residents will be receiving a letter beginning in the next week or so from the finance department, informing them that to expect contact from Midwest Meter, and with instructions on how the process will work. It should be a relatively quick process once we gain access to the home to replace the MTUs. We're hopeful that all of them will be replaced in the next 9 months. However, it's customary in this type of project where there will be a few that are left at the end due to a variety of reasons of problems with access into homes and so forth. But Midwest Meter is accustomed to that and knows how to work with that, so they will be working with those homeowners to make sure we get access to every house and business to replace the meters, and the larger meters and the MTUs for homes. Any questions on that? Okay, I think many of you have met, if not all of you have met Logan Guattari. He is our new management analyst. I'm not sure why he's not back in the production room learning how to televise, but maybe he's already learned it and he's already proficient at it.
It's funny.
Welcome, Logan.
We're excited to have Logan. He's from Michigan. He is a Detroit Piston, Red Wings, Lions fan. We have to work on that. We will, I promise. We are happy to have him here. Thirdly, I have another update. For the West Central Municipal Conference, through mainly our village engineers assistance, we did receive, is it called bypass money for Washington Avenue? Contingency funds.
Bypass something out of it.
Yeah, and I got bypass on my mind. But when Derek approached the board earlier this year with our application to the WCMC for STP,
Actually, in 2021, you guys approved designing 3 projects.
Let's go to the mic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Thanks. Derek Triclar, village engineer.
Thank you. So in 2021, the board approved design engineering for 3 resurfacing projects that were not funded, but the WCMC said we may be able to get contingency funding. So we designed Washington Avenue resurfacing, the Brookfield Avenue, which includes the 3700 block of Grand, and Shields Avenue. And we were able to get funding this year. It did indeed come through for Shields Avenue. We're on an April IDOT letting, construction starting somewhere around the 1st of July. And then as we're referring to, as Tim's referring to, Washington Avenue, we recently received notice that that'll be on the June letting, construction starting in probably early September, and it's Washington from Kemen to Prairie that'll be resurfaced. So 2 of those 3 came through, and we may be able to get contingency funding for Brookfield Avenue and 3700 block of Grand. We'll look at that if we, maybe 2023.
Very good.
Derek, what was the estimated amount?
The federal portion that we're bringing in for Washington, I think, is around 900,000.
Great.
Is there any chance with that work that it will conflict with fountain construction?
The schedule could overlap, but the resurfacing, it gaps the veteran circle.
Okay.
So the construction, there won't be a conflict that we can't
Good.
work through.
Thank you, Derek.
That's it.
Any other updates? Okay. All right. Having no further business on the village board agenda, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting at 6:49 PM.
So moved.
Second.
The motion was made by trustee Conroy, second by trustee LeClere. Roll call, please.
Trustee Ketchmark?
Aye.
Trustee Cote?
Aye.
Trustee Hendricks? Aye. Trustee Conroy?
Aye.
Trustee LeClere?
Aye.
Trustee Kaluzny?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, we're adjourned at 6:49 PM. We just need a minute or two before we start